Hey everyone, Tyler here. Sorry for no camera or anything, and I'm currently in the process of moving, so it makes things difficult to try and record. So, you've probably noticed a lack of videos just overall on the channel. Last year, I tried doing this really big push. I was doing like a video every 2 weeks, and it got me ultimately to the goal that I had wanted, which was 1,000 subscribers on this channel. But it was starting to kill me. And I don't mean like I was actually, I mean, I might have been. Uh, what I really mean by that is I was burning out. I was starting to hate doing this. I couldn't play video games recreationally anymore, like just as a hobby, because anytime I would pick something up, my thought process would be I should record, and then I would just feel that intense burnout and wouldn't want to record or wouldn't want to even play, which started becoming a problem. I was binge playing games for like 8 hours a day if I could. There A good example is the Uncharted video. I had recorded all of that footage in one day, which is probably why the video turned out the way it did. I mean, there's a couple other factors going into that, but I wasn't too happy with that video overall. And I was losing it. I I was hating making videos, and I already had this history on this channel of taking breaks from recording and uploading and whatnot. And that was more or less due to my living situations at the time. Uh, but I just, I also didn't enjoy making reviews. You know, I couldn't help but hate the videos I was making because I couldn't script, I guess, a big air quotes here usual video. So I kind of just ended up uh writing just whatever, and it caused this sort of disconnect between, well, I think the skits are good, but I'm not really doing a good job talking about the game, or I'm spending too much time talking about the story. Because I don't know if you've picked this up, those of you who are still around listening to this, watching this, whatever I'm going to have up on the screen, probably stuff from my past videos. But I prefer story over gameplay. Like, a game could have just awful controls, but if its story is good, I will make my way through it just to experience the story. Like, gameplay and whatnot comes second to story for me, which you can obviously see in how I did my reviews, just going about talking about the story. And as a lot of people have told me, I think it's a lot. I don't know, it might have been only like 2 or 3 comments. They weren't really reviews and just summaries, and that affected me a lot. So I tried many different ways of changing up my scripts, and just it wasn't working. At the height of my burnout during the the time of doing a video every 2 weeks, I had finished up playing through Mega Man Legends. I had written a script, and I was doing different stuff with it. I looked back at that script. So, okay, prefacing, I didn't like the script initially because it was so different than what I had written, but also I didn't like the stuff I had been writing up to that point anyways. So being burnt out, I just sort of, what's the word? I just kind of buried the script. For a while there, I thought I had not completed the script until I looked through. I was cleaning up my Google Docs and I found the script again and I was reading through it, and it has issues, but it was actually a lot of the stuff in it was pretty good, but it's not. It was one of those things I was debating about actually releasing, like making the video, taking out all the live action stuff since I'm not going to be able to really record live action stuff for a bit, and just rewriting the stuff that needs to be rewritten and releasing it. But I realized something. It's not worth the trouble. And that's going to sound weird for someone who finally hit their goal of like 1,000 last year on this channel, but there's a reason why it took me. Well, there's a reason why there hadn't been a new review in essentially a year. Like I put out the first episode in a new series, Iconic Institute Spider-Man video. It's not up anymore. I'll get to that. Reasons why. Sorry. Also, sorry. This is going to be a really rambly thing. We're already 7 minutes in on the recording. I don't know if I'll cut it down more, but I just need to get my thoughts out, and this is not scripted at all. So I'm sorry. So like I said, I was unbelievably burnt out, and I could not write any reviews. And I tried, and it wasn't until earlier in May of this year, so 2019, I decided to just attempt to write a Pokemon Crystal review. It's something I'd been trying to do since my Pokemon Yellow video, the first one on the channel. And I was going for it. I started writing the introduction skit, and it quickly turned from an introduction skit to me venting, and then from me venting to essentially having a mental breakdown. And initially I was thinking, oh, I can just get something out there. Because it's Pokemon Crystal. Like, there's not a lot that's been changed from the first generation of Pokemon. But I was losing it. Like, I completely broke down just trying to start the script. I didn't even get to the reviewing process of the script, and I had to stop. And that's when I realized I cannot make reviews. If I try and make a review, I'm going to fucking lose my mind. So back when I made the channel, well, okay. GbcTyler as it was kind of, it was a previous channel that I just sort of rebranded. You can see this if you go to the channel page. The URL says Kick It With Your Hammer. That was a channel I started back in 2011. You can even see that. I put it up in like 2010, but whatever, where I was wanting to do machinima, like Halo machinima. I made one episode, and then I tried desperately to try and make more, but the people who wanted to be a part of it did not want to help me make it at all. So I kind of just made that. Then I sat on it. I released. I also, God, sorry, this is kind of turning into like a history of the channel sort of thing, but it's kind of important to see what's happening here. So I released that, and back in like 2011, God, it had gotten a lot of views for 2011. I mean, back then you didn't really get a whole lot of subscribers unless you made more content. I mean, same sort of thing now, but it was getting pretty good traction for 2011. It got like 500 views. And YouTube, back then, you only needed 500 views to get monetized. So I had this even more urge to make more, but the people involved didn't want to help me, so I just couldn't do it. And I was in high school at the time, so I had no means of doing it effectively, I guess, is the thing. So I kind of just sat on it. I tried a couple, I think like a year later, trying to do like Minecraft Let's Plays that were not good because I had this shitty headset and I was on my laptop that was already probably dying at that point. I took those completely off the channel, and then around 2013, so actually not too long after the Minecraft LPs, about like a year, I would say. No, it was 2014. Sorry. In 2014, I had started working on the concept of new content. I had seen the reviewer boom, so I thought, yeah, I can make reviews, but I didn't quite know what I wanted and what I was getting myself into with making videos. All I knew is I wanted to make content. So here I was, not knowing exactly what to do content-wise. I had a couple early attempts that are now completely gone. The hard drive that they're on is dead. So thank God those can never see the light of day because they weren't good. And I started working on my Pokemon Yellow review because I was thinking, what's going to be my hook? What's my hook to get people interested in watching my videos? Because, oh God, and this is going back to the days of fucking JonTron height, I guess. But just what's going to be the hook? Because a lot of YouTubers, I guess, had a hook to try and differentiate themselves. Like Catacris had Slaughter and Salvage. He had that. PBG was just a goober in general and whatnot. But like they had their own unique flares. So I got set on using the one handheld from my childhood that was essentially my first like just my own gaming system, which was the Game Boy Color. Hence doing Pokemon Yellows. That was the first game I got with it. And this brought on a slew of people calling me a JonTron ripoff and stuff like that in the early, I want to say like year of making videos. And there was a lot of back and forth with like how I was going to do stuff and a lot of me testing the waters. And there were a lot of hiccups in that. I don't know if anyone's still here from like the first year of the channel, but my Pokemon Yellow video, which is still up. I don't recommend anyone ever watch it, but it's there, and just quick time events, which were my ideas of, hey, I don't have any way of necessarily collecting footage for certain games, like 3DS games. That's mostly what it was, actually, now that I think about it. It was 3DS games, and there were a bunch of cut QuickTime events for the obvious reasons. And QuickTime events was a thing. It wasn't necessarily, I guess it was successful enough for me to continue doing them because logic loadings just took so long for me. And the second ever logic loading was a video on the CDI Zelda games because it was Zelda month, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna quickly do video. But I had been working so much in November that I essentially had just a week left to try and make a video. That was a mistake. I was not happy overall with the quality of the video. It was not good. My audio was blown out. I didn't know really anything about audio mastering and like making it sound good. You can really tell in that Pokemon video, but I sound really muddy and whatnot in my voiceover stuff. But I didn't even attempt to make it through those games. Like, fucking hell. I had this CDI emulator, and I was trying to jury rig it so that it would work with an actual controller, and I fucking didn't try. I was just trying to pump it out, and yeah, it turned out like garbage. And also, this also has a huge history of reviews that just didn't come out because I didn't like how they were turning out, or the script wasn't good, or I just couldn't figure out how to write it at the time. And then I ended up moving in 2015, and I guess let's just call that the decline. I mean, I had hit 100 subscribers in May because I was doing Mega Man month, but I could only output one video because the living situation I was in and me trying to find work. And then there's this huge falling out that essentially resulted in me being homeless. Again, the second time in my life, mind you. And just various different things happened, and I kept trying to do videos. And actually in 2016, I was trying really hard on doing a logic loading every month. And I think for the most part, I was doing an okay job with that up until some stuff happened. My girlfriend at the time cheated on me and broke up with me. And then that's just a whole other fucking situation that I really don't want to go into, but just... And then there was that other break, and a Mega Man Battle Network video came out, and then more break, and just... There was... After all of that, there was no recovering the channel. YouTube's algorithm had continued changing, and just... The things I know now about YouTube's algorithm and how they view channels... I would be better off making an entirely new channel. Backlogging plenty of videos, which I guess brings me to my next thing, that I don't think GbcTyler is necessarily worth it. Not to say all of you who have subscribed and like watched my videos aren't worth it, because you are. Like, my God, I could not, like, last year hitting 1,000 was fucking amazing. Like, I couldn't tell you how happy I was to hit 1,000, but I did it doing something I didn't enjoy. And I can't output new things because people just aren't going to watch it on this channel. And with the way YouTube's algorithm is, it's not going to do well. Which is why I took down that logic. It's why I took down the Iconic Institute on Spider-Man, because I want that series to do well. I want that series to flourish, and I think it can on another channel. On a new channel where I can upload a new one and have like a nice backlog of content. I know you're getting into like around 20 minutes of this video, but that's sort of the main thing about this. It's just, I would be more successful at this with all the knowledge I have now and all the resources I have, just making a new channel. I could make like 3 new channels that would be more successful than this one. And that's difficult. It's really difficult to give up something that you've spent almost 5 years of your life on. But I can't do it with this channel anymore. I just cannot. I tried. I really did. And you can see that just there's no recovering GbcTyler. Especially not after like 1,000 subscribers of wanting reviews and asking for Battle Network 3 review. It's just not worth the stress and the burnout. And I want to do other things than just reviews all the time and top 5s and top 10s. Or at least do it on the stuff I'm more passionate about, like animation and art. And hell, even Iconic Institute as an idea, like that spawned from me liking to do research, like learning new things about the stuff I'm passionate about. And not every character I'm going to cover on that series is going to be one I'm passionate about, but that's why I've come up with a game plan, like working so hard on developing a formula for Iconic Institute. It was reminiscent of me trying to do reviews, but I had a better grasp of what I was doing because it played to my strengths as a writer and it played to my strengths as a researcher. So I guess that just brings us to the end of this. I'm sorry to everyone who's subscribed. I don't know if I'm going to keep the channel up. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why I wouldn't want to keep it up. There's some reasons for why I would keep it up, but I don't know. It's going to stay up for a bit. I'm going to work on getting stuff done for a new channel, and I suppose I'll update everyone on here when that channel's live. I'm launching with 3 videos. One of them is the Spider-Man Iconic Institute, but that's just because it's already done. And 2 other mystery videos. And I guess we'll see how that venture goes. And I have a couple other ideas in the works, but I guess don't necessarily expect any new content from this channel. And if you unsubscribe, that's fine. If you stay, okay. Just know that I can't guarantee there's going to be any new content ever again on this channel. So yeah. I'm Tyler, and thank you all so much for the past 5 years on this channel. I really do appreciate it. Bye.